Alright, what is going on, my dudes? We're back here today with the next champion entering Mcoc. We've got Jack-O-Lantern. Now, first and foremost, I want to apologize for not getting the Scream video out just yet. Still gonna get that one out sometime this week, probably maybe, let's say, Thursday, something like that. Been a super duper busy beaver, just trying to make the battle realm the best place possible for all you guys. So the personal videos have been a bit on the back burner, but don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Don't plan on stopping anytime in the near future. I love you guys way too much. So let's jump into Jack-O-Lantern today, start talking about the next champion entering the game. But before we do, I want to show you guys this really cool Wobbuffet plush I got. He's really funny and he's really stupid and I like him a lot. Alright, so let's jump in today and talk about Jack-O-Lantern, man. This guy's animations, first and foremost, are just so freaking cool. So Jack is probably the simplest champion we've had in the game for quite a minute now, and that's such a nice, refreshing thing because it's been like jump through hoops, stand on your head, do a handstand, walk backwards on your hands, and then do a backflip for the rotations. This one's like, hey, use a special and use another one, and maybe do a heavy attack every now and then. All right, so let's start jumping in. Alright, he's a master assassin, and he has immunity to reverse controls and incinerate effects, and he can also trigger the parry mastery against non-contact attacks. Alright, that's really solid for some very annoying mutant defenders currently. Onslaught, Dust, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, alright? Parrying non-contact attacks is also always a very useful ability, alright? Now, when he would land a critical hit, he instead inflicts an instant incinerate, dealing energy damage. All of his personal damaging effects scale with crit damage rating, so he likes external cruelty and precision. He wants to crit, and he wants the crit damage rating to be high. Alright? Against mutants, his incinerate effects become plasma effects instead. That's great for a lot of the mutants that are immune to incinerate, like Havoc, for example. Okay? So, Inflamed. He has these inflamed passives, right? And for every 3 damaging effects the opponent is inflicted with, so every time he would crit or use his special 2, or passive damaging effects Jack is inflicted with, so like Onslaught's Neuroshocks, he gains an inflamed passive for 25 seconds, granting the following: increased critical damage rating for the burst, increased ability accuracy, and increased energy resistance, okay? While Inflamed is active, the opponent's damaging effects suffer 100% reduced ability accuracy when hitting Jack's block during special attacks. So for example, Werewolf Special 1 and Special 2 will not do damage, or will not do ruptures through his block like that, okay? And Mutant's damaging effects suffer an additional 5% flat per inflamed passive. These stack at 15, so with 10, you can block Onslaught Special 1 and never get Neuroshock on you. That's what that's for, right? This does not trigger at all against Cosmic Champions, and inflamed passives are paused during specials and for 5 seconds when intercepting the opponent. Okay, so this is pretty much all there is to him. You attack him, you attack the opponent, right? You crit, and then you get the damaging effect, and then you gain the inflamed passives, and you keep doing that, and your damage goes up. And that's pretty much it, man. His light attacks, his 4th light attack does a non-stacking cowardice debuff, and against mutant champions, they're less likely to use their special 1, and the heavy grants him a precision for 3 seconds. Now, the precision is nice, right, as just like using throughout the fight, but what you really want to do is you want to chain your heavy into your special 1, because you pause all precision effects on Jack during this attack, okay? And on activation, you gain 4 inflamed passives, and passive damaging effects inflicted during this special attack count as an additional +1 towards Jack's next inflamed passive, alright? So basically, you want to heavy get the precision, pause it with the special 1, and then all the hits that you do are going to be doing extra damage, right? And you're going to be gaining extra inflamed. So you want to use that kind of like to ramp. And then the special 2. The final 2 hits inflict incinerate and poison debuffs, but that becomes plasma against mutants, right? And this is where all his damage really is. Now keep in mind, where is it? All of Jack's personal damaging effects scale with critical damage rating, right? His inflamed passives, you gain increased critical damage rating, so all of these damaging effects on the special 2, the damage is going to go up once you are ramped, and the red numbers are kind of high, alright? Now the special 3, I don't use this one too often, but you gain a non-stacking precision passive, granting 200% of his base critical rating for 15 seconds, and you gain 12 inflamed passives and pause them for 5 seconds, so you pretty much fully ramp up, and then you're going to be doing a lot of burst damage after with that precision, okay? Now, Now, one more thing we have to talk about is his SIG ability. During the opponent's special attacks, you gain a non-stacking bulwark buff, granting a lot of increased block proficiency, plus 1400 block proficiency, okay? This is really solid, again, against, like, for example, Onslaught, right? If you're blocking those special 1s and special 2s with the immunity to reverse controls. Also, while suffering from any energy damaging passives, aka Onslaught's Neuroshocks, Jack passively regenerates 0.18% of base health per half a second. So, yeah, he's a great Onslaught counter, if you couldn't tell. Pretty much everything Onslaught has in his kit, he can counter, you know? So, the one thing to note is that, yes, he can parry non-contact attacks. However, I don't personally recommend you go parrying Onslaught because you still get all the daunted effects, but it is there for, like, a parry heavy into special 2 to close out the fight, alright? Let's start looking at some gameplay today. So, we have this smaller Cyclops here with 215,000 health to start, right? This is like if you're using your 7-star Jack against like a 6-star mutant in Battlegrounds where the health pool is a little bit low. Now, as you can see, at rank 3, the red damage is pretty nice, like right out of the gate. We're looking at like 9k burst, 10k burst here, hardly even ramped up, right? And I'm just moving right to special 2, and all I'm going to do is just rip this thing, and this would do so much more damage once it starts ticking, right? So this could probably reach like 275,000 damage against a mutant in Battlegrounds or War, for example, just going right to special 2. Now, in a longer health pool here, this is 700,000. We're pretty much going to do the same thing, except one difference is we're going to go for the special 1 first, but the exact rotation is going to be very much the same. We're going to be intercepting, we're going to be using our heavy attack to gain the extra precision, to gain the inflamed passives, right? But you want to consistently intercept, that way you can keep it paused. Now, I threw the light attack, the 4th light attack here to gain the cowardice, and what that did was it made me able to pretty much easily push Cyclops to special 2, don't have to worry about a special 1, right? So here he's not even throwing that thing, but there we go. I have the bulwark, I could have blocked it if I wanted to, but I'm going to dex it, right? You saw I went for a heavy attack into special 1. The reason why I did that was so I can gain extra inflamed. This AI is just not working with me here, but as you can see, the burst damage is really jumping up there now. I'm not even fully ramped, and we're going to go for the special 2, and watch how the red numbers tick here. That's a lot of extra damage, man. That's like 26k per second there from those debuffs each, right? And now we're fully ramped. We have our 15 inflamed passives, right? And we're going to go for one more special 2, or do we finish it with the special 1? I'm not entirely sure, but as you can see, once you're ramped, you're pretty much doing like 16k damage each time you get that burst, right? So yeah, not too bad at the end of the day. He's very straightforward. He's very simple. He doesn't have that much going on, but when he works pretty darn well, as you can see. So he's really solid for a lot of specific matchups, right? And that's what we're going to look at today. We have just a 6-star rank 1 going up against like this Onslaught here. And as you can see, right, I'm going to show you the champion rotation from the deep dive, which is against Onslaught. So I'm not going to show this entire fight here. It's a rank 1, but I'm just showing you from an RPG perspective. He has pretty much everything that you need against Onslaught here, because he's got that immunity to reverse controls, as you're going to see right here. Bam, immune, right? Don't really have to worry about too much. Against Negasonic Teenage Warhead, not the worst defender, but still can be annoying on certain nodes in Alliance War. The fact that he can parry her non-contact attacks is very good, and that of course transfers over to other champions as well, such as Dust, right? Dust is so annoying with those non-contact light attacks. Bam! You can just parry that thing and not even worry about anything that she's doing at all. Of course, you still want to watch out for her Dust, but it makes life a lot easier when you could just attack her normally and parry her without having to dash back every single time you do anything at all, right? Also, not critting is always great for a lot of mutants. For example, Mr. Sinister, the new kid on the block, right? And not only that, not only does he not crit against Mr. Sinister does this thing where he uses his special 1 when he has damaging debuffs on him, and what does he do? He reflects it back. But what does Jack-o'-lantern do? Well, if he's blocking and he has inflamed, that ability gets minus 100% reduced ability accuracy, and he's a really solid Mr. Sinister counter. You don't even have to worry about him sending these debuffs back at you, because here they fell off, but none of them would have transferred over, right? And they're so short that you don't even have to worry about that. They're short and they do a lot of damage, right? So they're kind of like front loaded there. So that's Jack-O-Lantern, man. I think he's pretty darn cool. He's very simple and straightforward. Let's take a look at the champion rotation real quick so you can see him against a big ol' Onslaught and see how he does.
To begin, strike the opponent to start building your inflamed passives. Finishing a combo with a light will inflict your cowardice debuff, making mutants less likely to use their special one. Intercept the opponent to keep them paused, and then chain your heavy into your special one to gain and pause a precision and finish your ramp. Keep in mind, Jack-O-Lantern is immune to reverse controls, and he can parry non-contact attacks. From here, build up to your special 2, and hear that sinister cackle as you watch him melt his opponent with those damaging debuffs. If the opponent isn't already knocked out, just build back to that special 2 and let it rip until they are.
And there you have it, man. Jack-O-Lantern. Happy freaking Halloween from the dude in the Halloween mask. Oh my god, look at those animations. He's so freaking cool. And his synergies, they're kind of cool as well. He got some cool stuff going on, you know. The synergies aren't super duper insane, but yeah, he's a straightforward guy. Anything like Power Shield, for example, he's going to absolutely go off, dude, with that special too. So yeah, definitely good stuff with Jack-O-Lantern. Super cool champ. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this guy, because personally, I like the complicated, difficult to use champions. I don't usually gravitate towards like the straightforward ones. So for me, he's kind of like, you know, not as exciting for me to use personally, but like as a champion, I enjoy his value against certain things. So I'm very curious to hear what you guys think about that. Let me know in the comment section below. And hey, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. I'll be seeing you around.